Байцгаана хүнд үзэгчтэй. Өнөөдөр орой манай нэвтрүүлгийн зочноор Япон Улсын элчин сайд Такуо Кидокоро оролцож байна.
1945 оны 9-р сарын 1-нд төрсөн. 1969 онд гадаад хэргийн яамд орсон. 1969 онд Токиогийн гадаад хэлний их сургуулийн монгол хэлний ангид дүүргэсэн. 1973 онд Монгол дахь Японы элчин сайдын яамд 2-р нарийн бичгийн дарга. 1991 онд JICA-д хэлтсийн дарга. 1994 онд Монгол дахь Японы элчин сайдын яамд зөвлөх. 1997 онд Чикаго дахь Японы ерөнхий консулын газарт консул. 1999 онд Оросын холбооны улс дахь Японы элчин сайдын яамд зөвлөх. 2003 онд гадаад хэргийн яамны эдийн засаг хамтын ажиллагааны газрын төрийн бус байгууллагын тусламжийг дэмжих тасгийн дарга. 2005 онд Санкт Петербургт Японы ерөнхий консулын газарт ерөнхий консул. 2009 онд Япон улсаас Монгол улсад суугаа онц бөгөөд бүрэн эрэхт элчин сайд.
Good evening, Kidokoro-san.
Thank you.
Thank you for visiting our studio. We know that today, these days, you are almost departing Mongolia, ending up your diplomatic career, of which many years are connected with Mongolia. And how come you have decided to be close or somehow connected with Mongolia?
When I went to the university, it was 1964, and I started to study Mongolian, and including Russian and English. And just half year later, at that time, it's a very good chance for me to see the Mongolian delegation of Olympic game from Mongolia. It's the first case of the delegation from Mongolia to the Olympic game. And I went to the Yokohama port, because at that time, almost the guests came from the Nahotka to Yokohama by the name of the ship Baikal. And
is it a Russian ship?
Russian ship, of course.
So first Mongolian Olympic delegation was coming in 1964 to Tokyo Olympic game.
Yes, I went to the Yokohama port and to welcome the delegation. But unfortunately, our Mongolians are not so good.
Language,
so we don't have enough communication. So we mainly talk with the translator who speaks perfect Japanese. He's Mr. Almas.
Mr. Almas.
Yes, who is now still teaching in some university. And I also to meet with the father of Hakuho.
Mr. Mukhbat.
So
who was at that time Mongolian sportsman, athlete.
Yes, and he joined the wrestling. And anyway, that was my first case. And later, I have a chance to work in a foreign ministry. And my main language was the English. But when I went to England as a training student, but happily, I joined to the Leeds University. And at that time, Leeds University, England, Great Britain, and Mongolia have the cultural agreement. So every year, 2 students were sent to Leeds University.
Yes.
And the professor Ono, he was the main teacher of the professor of the university. And the American professor Owen Latimer was there. So mainly, I studied English in Leeds University. But university permitted me to join the Mongolian lesson.
I see.
Yeah, so I'm very happy.
Professor Latimer also was your teacher of Mongolia.
Yes.
And the Professor Onon. Wow. And then after that, you became also connected with Mongolia at the time when Mongolian came to Japan to open embassy.
Yes.
And so who were at this delegation and how it had happened? And I understand also you are connected with finding the current Mongolian embassy in Tokyo.
Yes.
Please tell us about that.
So, first of all, our delegation opened the embassy here. In Hotel Ulaanbaatar.
Ulaanbaatar.
Yeah, that was August, and frankly speaking, I joined 1 month later, and we opened the hotel in the Hotel Ulaanbaatar, and we started to negotiate to set up the every kind of the level of negotiation, and so 3 months later, Foreign Ministry at the time, Mr. Dambadarja, he is the Deputy Foreign Minister. He showed us that the Mongolian side want to have open the embassy in Tokyo. So of course we helped everything, and they went to Tokyo by way of the Nagotka and to Niigata, and we asked to Tokyo, please accept or welcome the Mongolian delegation in Niigata port.
Okay.
And they went to Tokyo by train. And I think 1 month later, the Deputy Foreign Minister, he was the ambassador.
Mr. Dambadarja was the first ambassador of Mongolia to Japan.
Yeah. So he arrived there at the time by way of Moscow.
Wow.
It's far away.
Very far away. To go to Japan, he went first to Moscow.
Yes.
Then was flying to Tokyo. Wow. So, in terms of the embassy building, how you came to that site?
At the time, many Japanese people helped to find out some building, on the which building is best, and mainly that idea is they rent to the house. But from my sense, Japan's every price went up year by year.
The property boom just started in Japan.
Yes, already. So I suggest the diplomat care of the office. At the time, they say the diplomat corp 우리쪽에 helped us. We talked many things, and also I talked to the Asian Affairs Bureau of Foreign Ministry. At the point that you should buy this whole property. And finally, they agreed and they accept our proposal. I think it's a very good decision.
That is the one of the best embassy building in property value we have abroad today. So we're so glad for that.
Yes, and the second point is that the place is very good.
Yes, Shibuya.
Yeah, Shibuya is very close to the Shibuya station.
Yes.
Just 5 or 3 minutes.
Yes, most active station in Japan.
Yes, yeah.
Well, then you came after that. You came as a third secretary or second secretary to embassy here.
So the first time, I'm the third secretary and the second secretary. And my second time, it was 1994. 94.
But in 1974, when you came here, this was not that easy time. It was start of a Cold War. We had the so-called of very strong relations, cautious relations with Japan.
Yes.
So probably it was not that easy to work in Mongolia.
Yeah, I know.
So how was it? Please tell us.
So first of all, at the time, we have no chance to talk with the Mongolian common people.
Okay.
Because the main point is the difference of the social framework. So
capitalist and communist.
Yeah.
Two
so if
different
we
systems.
talk with some Mongolian people, just to say hello, that's okay. But we continue to talk about over 5 minutes. I'm safe. But the Mongolian people surely disappeared. I don't know where they are both.
Wow. So you were sort of followed by.
Yes.
If you were freely moving in the town, was it difficult for you and for ambassador?
So mainly, my boss at the time liked to walk from our embassy, I mean the Ulaanbaatar hotel, to Daisan Turgoi. So I think 3 times a week we walked to the Daisan Turgoi. And anyway, we left hotel. And fortunately, somebody followed me.
Oh.
So I'm very safe.
Always following. Okay.
Anytime. And anytime, every same corner, some people come, say hello.
Uh-huh.
And what are you doing? So one has a sagda for me, and another sagda in every corner. So we are perfect safe.
You were very safe. Okay. Таны Монгол хэл тэгэхэд сайн байсан уу?
Тэр үед миний монгол хэл муу байна.
Муу байна. Одоо хамаагүй сайжирсан байна.
Одоо жаахан сайн байна. Тэгээд
та өглөө болгон сонин уншдаг. Монгол сонин.
Монгол сонин бас ном уншиж байна. Би монгол тухай сайн мэдэн. Тэгээд өдөр ном уншаад бас сайхан юм би то таньж байна. Тэгээд өдөр ном унших хэрэгтэй байна.
Came to Mongolia in with the mission at the time when we were about to change the system. It was 1989.
Yes.
Tell us about that time, Ulaanbaatar. What was that about?
So, luckily at the time I was working in the Economic Cooperation Division. So finally our ministry decided me that myself know well about Mongolia. So this is why I came here as a joint mission leader between our foreign ministry and JICA. And anyway, I came here, and at the time, every day there is a very big demonstration for the peace. Mongolia should be more free country, freedom.
On Sukpata Square, you saw all the time demonstrators all the time.
And they have the microphone, and they say loudly, Mongolia should be freedom. Freedom, everything. And sometimes I talked on this occasion to the Mr. Ebegdorich, and he said, so I said like that, at that time it's a very noisy, some demonstration, something. And he said, that's Magatogui. That is
that's maybe myself. The president said. Of course, economically it was a nightmare. This country was in a deep crisis. No foods available in the shops.
When first I came here, at that time we could buy everything. Mainly in the Nomindelgu, Ifdelgu, or
Ifdelgur. That time Ifdelgur.
Now Nomindelgu, and there's some special shop for a diplomat. So you could buy, but unfortunately at that time there's no fresh foods, especially winter time, because apple was sent from China. I think it was like now or September or October, but only September and October. No other season, nothing at all.
No fruit
so,
at all.
Yeah, mainly our office embassy started to buy some fresh fruits from China. And that was the friendship store, Yoi Shantian, in Beijing now. And at the time, the staff of the Yoi Shantian said to me, please show some ticket. But actually, I'm different from Ulaanbaatar. So I said, I came here from Ulaanbaatar. Why you ask me to show the some pass? And they say, oh, from Ulaanbaatar, so need not to show the ticket. Kui. And we bought some fresh fruits and the rice.
In Beijing, friendship store.
Yeah, friendship store.
To buy goods for Mongolia to bring.
Yeah, wow. to our colleagues.
So, as you saw problems, it was very cold, and you saw, and how you are part of this Japanese ODA policy change towards making Ulaanbaatar a little bit warmer. How come?
So, every 2 months at a time, I came here and to see some project site. And the most hardest time was at outside, for example, minus 30 degrees or minus 35 degrees. And when I stay in the hotel, the inside temperature is also same. Outside 30, inside 30.
30.
My 30. Outside my 35, inside also my 30.
Okay.
It's very, very cold. So every time I wear the undershirts and with overcoat, but we couldn't sleep well. Just every 30 minutes, I wake up. Oh, it was still very cold. So our idea is anyway to repair the power station. So our goal is to repair the number 4 power station.
And that time, number 4 power stations had even not enough money to transfer the coal nearby to the stove itself. There were no conveyor, right?
No,
from that, all these details with Japanese help, they were able. You were the key person to initiate the donor countries meeting in Mongolia and in Japan, and even before Japan had initiated $60 million to start that. Right? It was for the power station number 4.
Yes. And also telephone network system.
Yes, communication.
Communication system, because at that time we couldn't talk any times.
Yes, that was hard.
Yes. I still remember that if we want to talk or request, and the Hotel Rambato, we bring some books, and I asked, and they said, please wait something. And like 3 hours later, telephone bell ring, and Gavarichi Pajarta. That was in Irkutsk telephone operator.
Wow.
And again I said, I want to talk to Tokyo. And they said, please wait a little. And one more operator said, Gavarichi Pajarta. I asked, they say, it's a Moscow operator. And finally, Tokyo.
Ulaanbaatar, Irkutsk, Moscow, Tokyo, all through operator.
Yeah. That means I have these thick volume books. But if I was about for 6 hours, I read twice whole books.
Wow! So you come with the book to talk to Japan.
Yes.
And meanwhile, you can read all this book.
Yeah.
Wow!
And after that, now we dialed, and at the time we talk.
You were also a part of Gobi.
Yes.
Factory idea. How it came? Is it true that it was sort of it has to do with certain payment, etc.?
Yes,
Please tell the people the background of this Gobi factory.
But anyway, Japan and Mongolia in the past days, some unhappy case happened. But we want to have the very good relationship for the future development. So both sides agreed to help each other. And at the time, I think October 1973, Mongolian Foreign Ministry sent us one official letter that mentioned that the Mongolian side want to have some project, including 15 projects. And one of them is they want to have the glass factory or key factory or some another factory. But one of them is about the Kashmir project. And at the time they want to say to wash the Kashmir. And my boss ambassador, he knows all the economic system, ASEAN systems. He gave me some homework, and he said, which project is best? And Tokyo says 15 project. It's very difficult to do everything. And finally, I checked the Kashmir condition in the world, not in Mongolia, like in London or in Paris and Milano. Most of the Kashmir are brought from Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia at the time. So my conclusion is our government should help the Kashmir project. And my boss ambassador say, oh, it's a good idea. So finally, Japanese side find out the final goal, and the Mongolian side, of course, they say yes. And about the 2 years, both sides started.
How much money invested there?
I finally 50 million.
$50 million were.
Yeah.
It was given as ODA, assistance
ODAs,
money.
yes. So
Okay.
first of all, the Minister of Finance, Japan, they say it's like a credit. But our ambassadors, he knows the current situation of Mongolia. So he insists that the importance is not these systems, only grant aid, is better.
Wow. And since that almost, and in particular after 1990, for the last 20 years, Japan was always the largest donor to Mongolia. And always to the point, thanks to people like you. Thank you for that.
Yeah, but I think our position of the government is just to level up the Mongolian way of living. That is only our goal. And we have no another idea. And I just want to back the Kashmir project, because when the Kashmir project started, but the most important thing is they need more high-level or technical studies. So I think 1979 or 1980, every year, Japanese side received 2 Mongolian students. And first they study Japanese language, and after that they study about Kashmir project. And one of them is who is now Mongolian ambassador Jigujit. Now he returned here, and Mr. Bato Sayham on Setwanchik. All these people, all these students, went to Japan for mainly Kashmir project. And when they study, they finish studying and they return to Ulaanbaatar. Of course, they worked in Kashmir project. But some of them, after working in Kashmir project, somebody become the parliament member and the foreign ministry diplomat,
Yes.
or some businessman.
Yes.
So I think Kashmir project is one of the success stories.
Success story. So that's so wonderful. Look at back about 40 years ago,
Yes,
and
yeah.
you see the result. It's wonderful. You spent majority of your life, a lot, long in your lifetime, spent connected with Mongolia. And certainly today we are at the level where we are now. Of course, we are trying to. We made sort of transition from that time, into this capitalist system, market economy. A lot of ups and downs, mistakes, etc. happening. What are things that you think we should pay more attention today? Like maybe tell us, share with us. What are the things we could do better?
As a way of living, for example, first time when I came here, there is very, very few cars. And around the Hotel Ulaanbaatar, there are only a few cars. I mean, that is one Georgian car, and one other is something, our embassy car or a French embassy car. That's all. And so if we went to go to the airport, Doha at the time, they say, it took us only 10 minutes.
10 minutes, you are at the airport.
Yeah, or 15 minutes. But now, recently, my record was 1 hour 40 minutes.
40 minutes. So what we can do better?
So I think if we check the number of the cars, but from my sense, it's not so many cars. So there's something to solve this problem. The most important point that I want to say to the Mongolian people is to have the driving manner should be more higher, and and also some traffic signal. If they show the red sign, they have to stop anytime. And if another car comes, so they say, please go fast. But here it's, no, this is my town. This is my town. So they
yield
fight
the
each
road
other.
to another driver.
Yeah, that makes the another traffic jam.
Yes. So we have a lot of things to improve our traffic situation. There are certainly a lot of possibility, and there are already works done in between two countries, two nations, in our cultural, in educational sector. We have just talked. We have now students. How many? 12. How many students? Mongolian students currently are in Japan?
1,200, I think.
1,200. And
The
every
big
year,
yes,
you
100.
Yeah, every 100, about 100. How many students go there every year?
Every year, I think 100.
100.
Yeah.
And how many of them are paid by Japanese government?
I think 600 or 700. And the others, they go there by their pockets.
I see. So altogether we have, how many Mongolians are in Japan now?
I think about the 4,000.
Okay.
Or 4,000.
So in terms of culture, what you would see Mongolia can do in winter, maybe tourism to development. What is another, to your observations, what could do Mongolia better to attract more tourists in winter?
Winter, yeah. Because I was in Russia for 10 years, and mainly the last assignment before I came here, I was the Consul General for the St. Petersburg. You know, St. Petersburg is the center of the culture, or I can say center of the European culture. So that means music or ballet or another art level is very high. I think sometimes higher than other European countries. So the center of the culture was Leningrad, St. Petersburg, and I found that many Mongolian students are studying even now in St. Petersburg.
Yes.
And about the musical, they say Waganova school. Even now, many Mongolian students are studying. So when I go to drama theater or other schools, or this level is very high. Frankly speaking, very higher than Japanese level. So if Mongolia want to have the more initiatives of the tourism, I understand that the President Erdogan or Prime Minister at board also take the initiatives. Of course, I'm now pushing this project. So, for example, winter time, they say no idea of tourism, mainly for foreign tourism. But from my sense, so in every theaters, you show the very nice high level, like a Swan Lake. I like this one very well. So if they show this kind of the dance or ballet in winter, so they can come to see. So I think it's a very new, how to say, boom or tourism.
So Mongolian classical ballet dancing could be a good tourism, winter tourism product for Mongolia to attract more tourists from Asia.
Yes.
That's a good idea.
That's my conclusion.
That's something that I think if we want and we work hard, we can have a good brand and work on that. Thank you for this idea. As ambassador, so what was the principles you have been keeping during your work in Mongolia, on your duty? During your work in Mongolia, as an ambassador?
Yes.
What kind of major challenges you had?
Because when I came here, it's March of 2009, I found that Mongolia is changing by himself from the nomad country to the mining country. So many foreign investors comes. But importance is finally Mongolian company or Mongolian relatives, they should solve every problem. That means the most important is the some school level, in cities. So I think now at this moment, Ministry of Education, for example, they are supporting to send their student to Japan or to Germany, England or USA, and especially for the field of mining is very important. I think they should master these courses, and they should return for development of Mongolia.
Speaking about mining, how do you see this mining boom, and how do you see its development from your perspective?
To export the raw material, that is very primitive. So I think the best way is to put the additional value during the some new systems or using the some technology, and of course they can do that. Even Japan, more than 100 years ago, we don't have any idea. So we mainly imported from German. And the Mr. Dorigut last year, he found that in some steel factory, he found 1901 from Germany. And that equipment is still working. And that helps.
Over 100 years.
Yes.
And equipment work.
And they are still helping the Japanese steel factory, steel industry.
So we should have more value-added product rather than to send it just as a raw material.
Yes.
Okay. On the other hand, with revenue we have today, unfortunately, not everybody looks like benefiting. And I mean, you know Mongolia 40 years ago. You came here first time in 74. It's almost 40 years ago.
40 years.
And you see Mongolia that time and now. What is the big difference for you?
So when I here came first, at that time I didn't find any the poor people. Everybody are very safe, and they have the correct job, and they can have the meal every time.
Every Mongolians had either job, they had job, food.
After the 1989, at the time, I found that there are many people who have no job.
No job.
Yeah, and
no food now.
Yeah, and 94, at that time, the Mongolian economy turned better. So some people started to work. But nowadays, I found many people who have no job. Some people, they are looking for the pet bottle and the
plastic bottle.
And I had
empty bottle.
Yeah, one piece. They say it's only 5 turks. How can they have the meal from collecting pet bottle? It's very difficult. So because I was born just after the Second World War, at that time Japan was very poor. So my parents said it's a very hard job to feed myself for their breakfast or something. But even now, so some people, they have enough money and they have enough food. But unfortunately, there are another people who don't have their job and who don't have the enough meal. So I think the government official or parliament member should pay attention to this condition at this moment.
And yet we have very rich people as well.
Yeah, so I think there are only 10 or 20 people, but
20%.
20% sometimes. But the importance is government should find some working job assignment, and they can eat everything without any troubles. So I think I was in USA in total 7 years, and the main point is the company itself. They must show some CSR, corporate social
responsibilities.
responsibilities. So I know there are big company now here. So I hope this company should pay attention, or they should do by themselves over the CSR.
Kidokoro-san, you are reflecting the history of Japan after the Second World War, and you saw what is Mongolia going through now. And certainly all success is a sum of success of every individual, their hard work. If everybody works hard doing their job, we should all together have success. What is the main principle of a person towards its own work? What is the most important thing?
I think there is some way of the business. Typical Japanese way, they say that our old system nowadays, that is main point when they enter the new job, and at that time in 5 years or 10 years, 15 years, they must learn new systems or some techniques, and finally they will become some nice businessman. But nowadays I found that they get a new job, and in a week or in a few months they have another job. That means they don't have any goal. So important is they have to improve themselves through the we say OJT.
Be consistent.
Yeah. So I know that they want to pick up the new job. Only the reason of only $5, $10. But important is to stay to work in the same place or in the same field, and they must
To be a master.
Yes.
Master whatever they do.
Yes.
That's, I think, that's, the quality. Quality in everything.
Yes.
What all Japan do, Japanese do, is an important.
Yes.
And of course, attitude to the work, right? Well, you have been working very hard. I have to say. When do you wake up every day?
Now I'm belong to the old generation, so sometimes 4 o'clock or sometimes 5 o'clock.
And what do you do then?
Yeah. First of all, I got up and to read the newspaper and some books, and by 7 o'clock, and I had a meal and take a shower again, and return to read the books. Something.
Wow. And it's obviously, and plus you speak English, Russian, Mongolian, and studying and reading up to now. It's wonderful skills. And I also understand your daughter just graduated from Mongolian University. So
they say that my daughter now stay just for 1 year, and I'm totally stay now 8 years and a half. And of course, I studied in university over 4 years, so in total 12 or 13 years. But actually, my daughter speaks better than me because she's young.
Your connection with Mongolia, not only you have been a part of this connection, and you yourself contributed towards a better connection of Mongolia and Japan, and also you have transferred it to your daughter. Was it her choice?
No, I don't know what actually she want to do, but this time when I came here, she said she want to do something, because when she came here, she stayed at the international school.
Yes.
Only half years, and she graduated of the middle school. But after graduation, at that time there's no school. And so she went to the USA. So this is why she wants to come once again. And I just want to tell you that in the international school nowadays it's a very good school. So I took my son and my daughter to see the current new international school, and they say when they were here at the time, it's a very miserable building and no toilet at all.
Kidokoro-san, So yesterday was the how many exactly the day you came first came to Mongolia?
So 1973 September 28, I came here. So yesterday is my 38th years anniversary
of connection with Mongolia. Which was actually before with the Munkbat Avrak came into Japan.
Yes.
All those years you have been a good friend of Mongolia.
Yes.
You did a lot of work. And we could not talk about every initiative you made. Your initiative about building new schools in Mongolia, Japan, about Gobi factory. Many things we have not completely talked. But however, we have just touched some issues and some projects you have been involved with, and somehow I have been also following some projects and have been noticed through all these years your a lot personal contribution, and I appreciate it very much. And I think many our Mongolian audience who also are part of the projects also thank you for this wonderful job you have done.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much for your invitation to say something here.
Have a good trip back.
Yes.
I know this week you are leaving.
Yes.
And have a great work. After very active work, you have another work now to do, probably a lot to read, maybe write about Mongolia.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you
I'm
very
sure.
much.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.